Black Men Unplugged, episode 3. I got my boys Deen. I got J Dog with me. Man, this is a
Yeah.
big one.
Black
You know what I'm
Men
saying? So
Unplugged.
you came back for episode 3, bro. We appreciate
Go
you for
make 'em
sliding through.
believe.
But we came up with 3
Everything you
topics
said you
earlier,
gon'
right?
do,
We
you
broke it
gotta
down to
achieve.
3,
Put your
right?
crown
So we
king.
broke it down.
Yeah.
And today's, what we want to talk about today is like the violence in the black community, Jay. You know what I'm saying? Like, where this shit start? What's really causing it to continue? And then, like, what's the solution? You know what I'm saying? We got to start thinking about a few things, bring a few things into that. It's like, are we the soft ass parents? You know what I'm saying? Are we the ones? Are we the problem? Now that we are parents, yeah, like our generation, did we fuck it up? Did it start before us? Like, what's the difference between when we grew up to what's happening right now? You know what I'm saying? Because these dudes really feel like being a man is picking up a gun, pulling the trigger. You dig? So we really won't get into it, man. So Dean, you gonna pop it off, bro. Let's get into this, bro. Like, where do you feel this shit starts?
So I'll say this. It's a combination of a few different things. Um, and the subject, like, you spoke on and said that are we softer parents or are we weaker parents than what our parents were and our grandparents? And in a sense, I would say yes, right? Because I will say for myself, I can only speak from my own anecdotal experience. And I can say that, man, when I was growing up, I was getting my ass whooped. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Getting my ass whooped. And I'm talking about with everything from a switch, extension cord, slipper, belt, weighted belt, broomstick, whatever they could get their hands on. You know what I'm saying? And I will say it did leave some, I guess, a slightly bit of trauma, and put me in a position that, when I had started to have my own children, my son first and then my daughter afterwards, I said, I didn't want to do that. There had to be a better way than just, putting belt to ass all the time, right? There had to be
Mm-hmm.
a better way, and for me, it worked, right? It did, it worked. I don't have problems, with my children. Both are straight A students, hell, principal honor rolls, presidential awards, and so many other different things, right? However, I'm also a prominent father in my children's lives.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there all the
Mm-hmm.
time. I'm there for everything. I'm encouraging them. I'm talking to them. They can come talk to me and tell me about anything. So in a way, yes, we are weaker than our parents in some aspects, and in other aspects, we're a little bit stronger because we are a little bit more knowledgeable than our parents were, right? We have a little bit more information than our parents had. So I think it's a culmination of, like I said, a few different things. I would say lack of wanting to spearhead abuse. And man, another thing is too many parents want to be their children's friends. Because there's a difference. There's a difference
Boy,
between being a friend and
yes,
being a
sir.
parent, you know? So
Yeah, yeah.
I'll start off by saying that.
But what you talking about, Jay? What you got before I add my little 2 cents?
Uh,
Shit.
to put my finger on one thing, I would have to say, and just the system as a whole. Well, so parenting is all different because just like you, just like Dean, we all had a different experience growing up.
Facts.
So it's like one thing I've always said consistently is there's no book on parenting because every child's different, every situation is different. So there's no actual real, you could say, standard for parenting. The only standard is making sure that your kids are they're provided for, they have food, the essentials that
Right.
that's the standard. Uh, but the system, I believe, more of a it's created more of an issue for parenting than it had than anything else. Because you could say we're softer, you could say these kids are softer, you could say a lot of different things, but it's the system that has been implemented uh, throughout the years. Society has taken on a different approach than what we experienced. I
But is
I
it the
just have to
what
say the
when you say
system.
the system? What you mean by the system?
I mean the system. I mean you could you know people like to point to welfare. People like to point at school system. People like to point at the fact that you can't or you're not supposed to chastise or whoop your kids. But I mean, like I said, there's always a fine line between abuse and corrective punishment. So, you know,
I mean, I'll say it's a collection of both, like Jay said earlier, to piggyback off which it is a system. It's everything, right? It is even again, let's talk about this, right? CPA.
Mhm.
You can, your child right now, if they wanted to, you can pop them on a hand. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you can leave no
Oh,
mark, no
yeah.
anything.
Oh, yeah.
And they
Yeah.
call and so that's a threatening mechanism that a
Yeah.
lot of kids, man, use this,
Scare the
they
shit
use
out their
now.
parents. Hell yeah.
Scare their parents. So
Yeah.
the parents I would say that also is they're extremely afraid to do anything, right? Because some do believe that if I hit them, my lord, if I leave a mark or I mean I make a mistake and I scratch them, anything, right? Their children can be, CPA is called, police come, they go to jail. That's a charge on them, right? They lose the kids go into the system, and so many other different things. And the parent themselves get labeled as, right? And so many different effects that can be, so many things can take effect after that. They can lose their job. Again, they can spend 30 days or more in jail. They can gain a felony. So it's so much, you know what I mean? And again, it's the system as a whole. Again, we talking about welfare. We talking about child protective services. We talking about schools. We talking about um uh so many different things. The neighborhood, things that they see. We learn so much also not only by what we're experiencing in our household, we're also learning by what we're experiencing once we walk out of the door,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Kids, it's even other kids, peer pressure, so many different, it's so many, I can go on and on about it, but it's so many different things. But I
That's what we
wholeheartely
here
agree
for.
with Jay
Go on and
said.
on about
It's a
that
s-
shit, man. Let's talk
it's a
about it.
system as a whole.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Cause I look at shit different. But they just had two look. Prime example. Today, I'm on the couch with Brooklyn. We watching TV, right? All I hear is some girl screaming. I walk outside. We got the little courtyard right here in front of the door. I walk outside. It's a one little young group against another one, and the little girl is in the middle talking about she ready to go to jail. She ready to do this and ready to do that. And you got a dude out here about to fight a female. Say, bruh, these kids is built around love and hip hop type shit. They some real live crash outs, bro. I don't know if it's the like you saying like the system or it is just the adults around them ain't really got no, they don't have no structure they damn self. So how you gonna get somebody else some damn structure? 12, 13 years old, shit about to fight, pulling blades out and shit. You kill somebody, now you gone for the rest of your life. Cause you trying to flex in front of your partner.
Yeah.
They
That's
crazy.
that's not crazy. Like I said, I like that's stuff that I experienced as a kid. I could tell you I was probably 14 when I'm probably like 14, 15. I had one of my partners was blowing at a dude. He just seen him. He ran into his house, got his got his burner, and he stood next to me and he seen that dude coming again and he got her blowing at him right there next to me. And I'm just looking at it like go to Africa or go to Mexico and
Mm-hmm.
see how young. Go to Asia. See how young these kids are. These kids is 9 and 10. They already just smoking cigarettes. But these kids is running around with machetes or some of them got pistols on 'em. This is not nothing new. This is normal. It's the norm. Is it what kids are supposed to be doing? No. Kids are supposed to be being kids. But it's this like how Dee said, the hood, the neighborhood, whether it's and then you touched on it. You said whether it's parents not, or people not being constructive with these kids. And
Right.
that comes to the community. That comes to the community being strong and together. That's not, I was watching a video. Who was Chico Bean was interviewing a guy, and the dude he was pretty much saying we just the African Americans are extremely segregated. There is no unity whatsoever.
Yeah.
We are all
That's one
about
of the things Dean was saying.
like all it takes is for us to just come together on one accord and be able to come together and be what we want to be. But can, can we do that?
We've
Is the
been trying to
question.
do that for years though, bro. It ain't
They
like
ain't been
it
trying.
hasn't been positive leaders. It hasn't been conscious rappers. It hasn't been conscious motivational speakers and shit that came in the black community, bro. It ain't like it wasn't there. It ain't like y'all niggas can't say, oh well, shit, it didn't have no type of positivity around us. Niggas make a choice. It's either you gonna go left or right. What we doing?
You're right. But this is the thing you have to understand. In America, They don't want us to come together. They allow certain things to happen, like Martin Luther King. They allowed Martin Luther King to do what he did up to a point because because what Malcolm X was doing, he was trying to bring everybody together. That was his thing. And when Martin started saying some of the same things Malcolm was doing, that's when they started looking. I think he done ran his course. No, it was look. It was his own. If it was his own people,
It
it
was it.
was
So it
it
wasn't.
was a
It wasn't a
lot.
black man pulled that trigger.
Listen to me. Listen
Am
to
I?
me.
Did I
Listen
read
to
that
me.
history book wrong?
Hear me, Jay. Hear me, Jay. No, no, no. You didn't hear. You didn't read it wrong, but hear me. Malcolm X was one of the very most watched men in America by the FBI.
Facts.
If they were watching him as hard as they said it was, how the fuck did a black man come in there, kill him, and get away?
They let him get away. We know that. But what I'm
Oh,
saying
but
is,
but that's what I'm saying, bro. They if you don't think that they send folks to go do shit
Yeah.
to fuck some
I
shit
know
up,
they
Absolutely.
sent folks.
okay, but
The cartels in every race that we have, brother. Like we talking about the Asians, they can send hits. They can send hit. What I'm saying is the nigga that pulled
And
the trigger was a black man. Fool. That's a decision that you made to allow these people to tell you to go knock off somebody that's fighting for you. He's fighting for you, fam. I'm fighting so you can have a better life. You know what I'm saying? A better equality. I'm doing this and I'm taking these bullets and all this shit for you in my community, and it's my community that pulled the trigger though. It's not them white people. You made a decision to sit there and pull that motherfucking trigger, my nigga. You did everything. You got dressed. You went to the thing and you did everything. You got in there with all the people that look like you. This man come on stage and you pull a trigger.
what, Charles, let me ask you a question. Check this out. You have kids?
I do. I got 3.
Okay. All right. Now imagine one day you come home and your kids are not at home and you
Facts.
wonder where your kids are at
Mm-hmm.
and you get a phone call,
Mm-hmm.
and then somebody's telling you, hey, listen, I got your kids. You know what time of day it is. And in order for you to get them back, in order for them to not get hurt, there's something
Heard.
that we need you to do for us.
Heard.
So you know what I mean? Like you
Heard.
really don't know or understand the circumstances. Man, listen, come on now. We all 3 of us sitting here. We know that there's like some, it's like the Wizard of Oz, right? You see the guy in front of the screen, and
Yeah.
that's not who's really. You feel what I'm saying?
mhm.
So it goes much
So you saying
deeper,
so you saying it go
much
deeper
deeper than
than
that.
that. So you saying that they must have had something on him to make him pull the trigger that was that deep. That what you saying? So they
Listen,
had his kids? Cause from the history that I read and I remember watching, that type of shit, it was
hey,
a black man. You know what I'm saying? Man, don't be holding y'all tongue, nigga. Say what y'all gonna say. A black man, you know what I'm saying, pulled this trigger, bro. And he was an
yeah,
informant because he got caught doing something in the hood, and they used him instead of me putting you in jail for what I caught you for. I need you to go do this. So instead
you
of you
you
just
said
going
it
to take your
yourself.
lick and go and sit down, you gonna go knock off the same person that's trying to help you.
Yeah,
So that goes back to these motherfucking kids, man. You see what I'm saying? Like the
we don't know what the lick was gonna
generations
be.
over and over and over, we get raised the wrong way, then we try to blame other shit, bro. I just feel like it's more about decision and it's more about structure in the house, bro.
So
It,
hold
it
on, hold on,
it's
hold on,
it's
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. So you said this go back to the kids. How does that man making that decision? How does it go back to the kids? Is my question.
because it ties back to the kids because it goes back to what they have been taught generationally, like over and over. It's the same thing with us, nigga. We was
Well,
taught. We grew up in war zones, so we taught this, right? We've been through this, so we've been through something. And instead of us changing the narrative, the bullshit is more perpetuated than the positivity.
I
These
hear what you're
kids are
saying,
we
but hold
getting
on, hold on, hold
fed.
on.
We get fed the wrong shit.
Before you come to us, because I want to clarify what you're trying to say about this man that pulled the trigger to
Talk,
kill Malcolm
man.
X.
Talk to me. Let's talk about it.
No, 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 no. Hear me. So what I'm trying to clarify is you're saying that the way that man was raised is the reason why he pulled the trigger to kill Malcolm X.
No, no, I'm not saying the way that he was raised. What I'm saying is the decision making of a person to you made a decision to take a life that's was out here putting his life on the line for you. The decision making that certain people make in the hood be some they it don't really have no real merit on it. It don't really have nothing to stand on. You see what I'm saying? Like, cause as like a man like Deen, you could have just took your lick and went it down because you got caught doing something that you was doing. You see what I'm saying? You could have went
But
and took your lick.
we don't know the real reason why that man pulled that trigger.
And that's what I said. From the history that I know from watching the movies and the books and reading the books and this, that, and the third, dude was caught up on some shit he did. He got caught on some shit. They used it and turned him into an informant, and then they sent him on a mission. That's how they let him go.
You gotta be careful with that history though, because the same history told you that your ancestors was docile and they were doing whatever they were told to do. They didn't tell you about all the battles that they had. They didn't tell you about all the revolts, all the uprisings, and none of that. So
That
you
is
got to be
true.
I'm just saying, like, on this particular thing, you have to be very, very careful with history, man, and what they're saying or what they're telling you and how they said this went or how, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
So
Because they're gonna allow certain things to be published, but the truth is not one.
okay, so you saying
That's facts. That's facts, bro.
that is true.
That's facts,
But
bro.
look, so what you saying is, so okay, with Martin Luther King, that wasn't even us that pulled that trigger, right?
Bro,
Okay,
think for a second.
who killed JFK?
The white people killed JFK, from what I heard.
That's what they want you to believe.
Then
Hey,
look, from what I
he
heard,
shot,
nigga, shit.
shot a bullet around the corner.
But
You
but
believe?
wait, not wait, we getting off topic. We got to bring it back
No,
bring it back.
we're not getting off topic. We sticking on the topic.
I was about to go
What
left
I'm
with that
trying
one.
to what I'm trying to help you understand is when the government, the system, when you are doing something as a black person to where you are uniting or you're bringing like minds together and they're
Yes.
slowly but surely getting steam, they gonna send somebody, no matter who it is, no
But if
matter
you
what
sense,
color, no matter
even if you
what,
send them
they
niggas, we
sending
supposed to be
somebody.
united. We supposed to be that, man. That's like me and you, right? That's like me and you. We trained a different way. So if anybody come to you, I know for sure if somebody come to you and try to tell you something negative, you gonna come to me first. You gonna see what's up with me first. You ain't about to go everywhere else. So a nigga can't send nobody to you and be like, hey, man, Jay, this type of blah blah blah, and you gonna believe it, right? What I'm saying is to get I guess the way the community is, our community is set up, bro. Our foundation inside the community is not conducive to these kids in our community to like really grow. So even if you sit there talking about, well, they sent somebody, it ain't got nothing to do with them sending somebody, because you can send who the fuck you want if everybody on the same mind frame. If we know what we trying to do, bro, you can't send nobody over here to talk about some bullshit that we know that's not what that is. And I'm not about to jeopardize my people for some outside noise.
Jay, look at Blackwater, look at
Okay.
Philadelphia, look at Mississippi. I'm just saying,
I
it
understand.
don't matter. It doesn't matter whether they gonna get you from the inside out or from the outside in. Is for the same exact reason you just said. The foundation. What is the foundation of the black community?
The church used to be.
Is it?
It used to be the church. Right or wrong. It used to be the safest place for black people to go. Am I lying?
Yeah.
It's a church.
Yeah. Then three black girls died from a bombing at a church.
That's why I said it. But look, in the black community, they always used to tell you go to the church.
That ain't
Wrong?
in no more. Never, not since the George Bush initiative. Now the church is tax free and they're making money. We can't focus on the church no more. No, it's not 2008. I'm sorry, that's Barakia. I think it was 2004. I misquoted something. The initiative, right, for churches. A lot of churches. If you ever notice, like y'all notice, like in the black community, right now, like there's never any type of like meetings or any type of like political nothing. I'm talking about nothing. Not even during the whole BLM movement. The churches, you didn't see any coming out and saying anything, talking about anything. It's because there's an initiative, right? They're receiving money, government subsidies, the tax exempt and all these different things, but they can't be political. It can't be. So at one point it was a staple, especially when we had things like the Deacons of Justice, right? That was going on around the same time we had the Black Panther Party and all this stuff. But like Jay said, I mean, Tulsa, Greenwood, Rosewood, hell, Central Park. It's what used to be Seneca Village. You know what I'm saying? Like it was so many different things that we had. Like you said, in Philadelphia, this was the 80s, bro. They were dropping bombs. What?
Man, I understand what y'all saying, though, but I'm like, this ain't the 80s, bro. This is 2026. Niggas ain't going how they was going back then. Niggas ain't moving how they was moving back then.
Okay,
So at the end of the
okay.
day, we got the resources. What, Jay? Go ahead, bro. Say it, dog. Say it. Say it, dog.
Bruh, what
Go
do
ahead
you
and say
mean
it,
they
bro.
not moving how they moving worse nowadays?
Because
You
they
see, no,
because
no,
of
no,
the
no, no,
mind
no.
frame, and that's
It
where the
ain't no.
violence come from in the
You see
fucking hood,
first
bro.
48 all the time.
All the time.
Black
All the
people
time. You see
telling
black
on
people
black
killing
people,
black people. You see black people killing on
telling
black
on
people.
black
You
people.
see uneducated, unguided, unfucking, unloved, everything of these damn our fucking people smashing on each other because it's the cool thing to fucking do is to take the life of another nigga or
They
another
not
black man.
unloved,
Let me stop saying it.
not unloved. There's plenty of the black families that's in there, whereas mothers, fathers calling their sons, hey, you need to come down here and just take the beat. You need to come down here and turn yourself in. There's plenty,
That is true.
there's
That's true, but
plenty
it's
of
not enough.
love out there, bro. No, it's not about it being enough, bro.
All
What
right.
I'm trying to get you to understand is, I think I said it on that last episode. The African American culture is the youngest culture in the world.
Okay.
The world. We are you got to think our culture is, we don't have really anything outside of what we know about slavery and then trying to build up from there. And like I said, every time we try to build up, we get smacked all the way back down to the ground. So, like I said, it's not just one simple thing for us. It's a bigger thing that we have to do. And I think it's
Okay. So
more
what's
of
that
on
bigger thing?
the bigger thing is, me
What's that?
personally, I feel like that we have to tap into the motherland, man. There's because there is because if you look at those communities, you look at the Nigerians, you look at the Ethiopians, you look at any other African culture that comes to the US, they are close knit. They are very tight. They have a support system here and even abroad. We don't have that. All we have is what we got right here. And right here, it's every man for themselves for the most part. So one of the things that I do appreciate are some of the Freemasons and the Eastern Star. I even appreciate some of these bike clubs because they are able to come together on a mass level with no issues and come together and just pure camaraderie. Like those are the types of things that we like, even with some of the social clubs, the, even though it's attached to the motorcycle clubs, like those are the certain things that we can utilize to support or to build some type of infrastructure in the community.
Where does the change actually start? And for me, I feel like that shit start at the house. But some houses are not where they supposed to be, either by choice, mistakes, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Life be life and on somebody's shit. Sometimes it's hard. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, there is some single parents out here that are raising boys. You know what I'm saying? Raising 3, 4 boys in the house, and it's just this mom and these niggas go to the streets. It ain't really nothing she can do, and she's doing her best to make this. You know what I'm saying? To really be a real parent and try to guide them in the right way. But they go left. You know what I'm saying? I see you in the hood. You cool. You one of the biggest drug dealers, but I also see you niggas going to jail for biblical numbers. You know what I'm saying? You niggas going to jail for
Right.
235 years. That ain't something I won't do. I don't do well with jail. Every time I get in some handcuffs, I start breaking out in hives. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas start tripping.
Right.
Every time niggas start talking about put some handcuffs on me, boy, niggas start shivering like a stripper. Boy, you gotta be fucked up. I'm snitching, nigga. What the fuck is you talking about? You
See, but
I'm
that's what
not
I'm
going to
saying.
jail for no niggas, son. I don't care what you talking about.
Hey,
I'll take my lick for myself, but I'm not going to jail for nobody else, bro. You're not about to
but
send me to
that's
jail talking about, hey, hold this, you gonna take that lick. That's not happening, sir. Listen, I would be in court with my right hand up. That motherfucker did it. I'm telling you.
If I can say it's
I'm
not
telling you
happening, sir.
straight up. Boy, I got
Yeah,
kids, boy. My kids matter more to me than you, dog. I don't give a fuck
straight
what
up.
you talking about. What
But you
they
a
need me,
civilian too,
huh?
you know. So you a civilian too. You're not
Hey,
involved in
I'm not
nothing
no
like, you know
thug.
what I'm
I ain't in the
saying?
streets. I ain't about to do that. But
Hey,
see,
I'll
I'm not.
say, bro, I think we also have to realize people can only vision, their vision is only as far as their eyes can see, right?
mm-hmm,
So a lot of young kids too. Think about us growing up, right?
mm-hmm,
Think about the Franklin and Sage days and all that.
right.
Could you imagine being a homeowner? or anything at that point in time. There was no vision there for you, right? Because you probably didn't see it around you, right? It's like someone aspiring to be or wanting to be a doctor or a lawyer or a dentist or an author, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
a psychologist, anything in any field, right? If they don't have the opportunity to see it, or if someone doesn't look at them and say, man, something about this kid is different. I need to put them in a program, or I need to get them. If there aren't any male figures around, I need to get them. I don't hell, maybe a sensei. Get them in karate, right? Or put them on a team just so that they can have a coach or something like that, right? Because that's very important because you have to one thing I've learned, man, even being in creating material for children, right? With Lumi's Learning Academy, the Big Feelings Toolkit that I created, right? For social emotional learning. A lot of that stuff starts early, but also we have to also remember and understand some of what Jay said, right? We saw this shit growing up. I remember seeing my first dead body. Man, I was at Capdo. Seriously. The first
13,
time I ever seen one. You know what I'm
13.
saying? And it's like after all this stuff that has happened and the things that I've seen, sometimes we have to, I think also as black people, what we have to understand is one, I think this is our biggest problem. And I think it's just something very harsh to say, but I think it's reality for now. Can't save everybody. There's
Facts.
absolutely no way you're going
That's
to
a
be able to
fact.
save everybody because not everybody wants to be saved, right?
Mm-hmm.
What Cole say? Don't save, but you know what I'm
She don't
saying?
want to.
Save, you feel me? And that shit sounds harsh, bro. But if you look across the board, and I'm talking about, so I'm in a lot of circles of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all colors, backgrounds, creeds, uh, salaries, money, status, and something I noticed about a bunch of different people that who aren't us, even some of us, they can look and see, "Oh, yeah, I can mentor this person, or I can deal with this person, or I can do this, I can do that. Okay, let's try to. This person is talented, but the rest, they're like, nah, we
They
can't.
pick and choose
And
who
I'm
they
not
gonna
saying
deal
that I
with.
don't want. I'm not saying that I don't want to because I wish I could, man. But I mean,
They not ready yet.
even Harriet Tubman understood, at that time. You just can't save everybody, and you can't force people to want that help. And I think that's one of the things that we need to do. We need to focus on those who we can,
Mm-hmm.
and those who we can't at the moment, let them learn a little bit more. When they start to see a little bit more, when they start to understand life a little bit more, it may be hell when they're by the time they hit their 50s and 60s, but they understand. But not go all the way around to make my point. I think also like I said in the beginning, sometimes we got to realize that people want to change, but they can't because they can't see it. So they think that they're stuck in the circumstances and they don't, hell, sometimes just giving people information will change their whole entire life. Man, again, piggybacking off what Jay said, because it's the system. We can't say the system is just this. No, the system is like a culmination of so many different things stacked into one. It's like freaking Lego blocks. And I think at this point we gotta pick and choose very carefully what we do because you don't want the whole damn thing to come tumbling down.
I
This is what I'll say. This is
nigga
what
said
I'll
they
say.
cook.
So to touch base on what you said earlier, Jay, about the kids, put them in front of a TV, turning this on, turning that on. So
Yep.
like Dean said, that's a part of the system. If you look at the news, what is the news? The news is all trash.
Trash. Yeah.
Very little positive, but all trash and lies.
Mm-hmm.
Because half the stuff they be reporting on, they don't even know what they talking about.
Especially on
From the
social media.
weather to local news to national to world news. They just
Mm-hmm.
throwing something out there. They throwing out there a formula and getting folks going. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that phrase that we have in the construction is chaos creates cash. And that's what's going on right now. They're creating chaos with this whole world. We're about to go back to war. And you're starting to see prices of food and gas and everything up start to go up. Chaos creates cash. That's what the media is all about. So when you
Mm-hmm.
throw love and hip hop versus something positive, of course, everybody wants to be entertained. That positive thing, that's cool and all, but they entertaining, so they are all the trash, all the yes, they're taking it on. But so you can say the love and hip hop thing, and this is why I said earlier what I said about the Malcolm X thing, because it's no different. You got this cast. these multiple casts of all black folks and a little sprinkle of this or that, and they're getting paid to act foolish
Yeah,
the
get
whole
paid to look
time.
stupid.
Exactly. And who is their audience? Black folks. It ain't nobody. Anybody else that comes in, oh, that's just extra on top of it. But the audience is the black folk. Black
Right.
folk
That's
is
what
the
I'm.
ones that. So that's why I said it's the same thing with Malcolm X.
Yep.
They want to dumb down. They want to take those minds that have so much creativity, so much knowledge, so much power. They don't want them to excel. They want them to dumb down and to try to be like this person or that person.
But
They
is
w-
this not information that we already know though? We know that. We know
it's
this. This
but
has been said for
it's
years.
it's I know, but you still have people who still watch that, like the Baddies Club. That stuff is pure trash.
All that shit is stupid. All that shit is
Dean,
stupid.
exactly, Dean. Pure trash. But you have people, especially black people, because if you look at the class, most of it is pure black females. You look at Flavor of Love. You look at what Drewski is doing. It's all pure trash, and that's what folks are
I don't
attracted
know.
to. Trash, bro. And that's it. It
Drewski
just
funny,
is
man.
what it is. I'm telling you, the only way we are going to be able to change the narrative for black folks in America, well, for black Americans, is for black Americans are going to have to stop paying money to go to the Dominican and to go to Asia. And how about black Americans start going to Africa and not South Africa? Because ain't half you black folks here in the US ain't from southeast or North Africa. Y'all, most of y'all is all from the West. How about y'all go to the West Africa and go see Senegal, Uganda, what's the it's a few of them on that all where they went and grabbed all the slaves. Go tap in. That if that's what you want to create a more positive, a more united black Americans, we need to tap into our foundation. That's our foundation. That's what we need to tap into if we are going to change the way that the culture is now. Because it's not going to change by us. Like what you are trying to do is good. But like Dee said, folks got to tap in order to create that change. If they ain't tapping in, there is no change to be created.
I
Like
get
them
what y'all
kids,
saying.
them 14, 16-year-old kids, them not the ones you gonna be able to save, like Dean said. You just gotta reach the ones that's in the middle school or that's that's
Yeah.
that's just about to
Elementary
go to
school.
middle school. Yeah, fifth, sixth grade, seventh, eighth grade. Them the ones that you can kind of grab, and then they'll lock on to more of what you trying to create, the positivity you trying to create, than a 14, 16-year-old. Because the way today's society is set up, they want everybody to believe that you're gonna be a millionaire tomorrow.
That's a fact.
Instant
That's a fact.
instant gratification is what this society is built on right now. And that's
Yeah,
why these young kids all have this vision
these
all
T-Mo
across the
niggas are
board.
out of control.
Hey, that they gonna do a video real quick
Yeah,
and it's
bro.
gonna
These
go viral.
T-Mo. Yeah, bro. These
Yep.
microwave kids, bro. Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. If the lights go out, their whole life fucked up. Let the
And
internet
this
crash, boy. They
this
gone, boy.
goes to this goes to what you said earlier when you were saying these kids they weren't raised like us because we were raised to get it out the mud. These
Yeah,
kids
they
ain't
had no
raised to
choice.
get it out the mud. They raised to, like I said, I know
They
y'all had to
they
hustle
born with
and
tablets
grind.
in their hand.
Hey,
They born with
privilege.
tablets in their hand, dog.
They
But
privilege.
look, I agree with you. I really do, and I really want to touch on this point though, because it's like we have. If we get back to the root of the conversation of the violence in the black community, right?
Hmm.
I personally feel that like the whole thing about this boss youth outreach program that I kicked off with them, man, was I truly believe that mental health plays a huge part in a lot of this shit because motherfuckers don't know how to deal with their trauma, right? So these kids that's in the community right now, and I keep saying kids, and I know I might be hyper focused on the kids. I just be trying to save these little ones. You know what I'm saying?
You
And I
just
think
old
that
as
be my
hell. I get it.
38. I'm old as a motherfucker. Knees hurt, all that. I'm old. But I also be seeing like I be seeing these kids and I be like, bro, y'all are like one bad decision from throwing everything away. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be cool for the next nigga, and I done saw that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Dean, we was at Capitol, bro. I don't know if Dean remember that. One of my partners got killed at Capitol. My partner German. You know what I'm saying? We was in the 7th grade, bro. Dude walking home, they called him Jay. When I'm talking about this man, like literally a half a block, we won't say what, 8 houses away from his house.
I'm just away from his
His
house.
mama
Yeah.
heard the shot. His mama heard the
Yep.
shots. The dude was running up the block, banging on people's doors, trying to get in the house, trying to get somebody to call the police, looking for help. Nobody answered the door. You know what I'm saying? Nigga called him on the corner, put the gun in his mouth, pulled the trigger, knocked him off, right? We went to school the next day. No, it was the day after. We went to school cause he got killed. Then it's the day after they closed the school, and then we had back to school the next day.
Next day.
Then they sent grief counselors and then told us, oh, we're going to take a trip to the funeral. We got on a school bus, like a field trip, to go to his funeral. And then went back to school and had to go to lunch. Dean right there, bro. I promise you. This
Yeah.
like, it ain't no, and the grief counselors didn't even come. They came into school and it was like, are you okay? Do you plan on hurting yourself or anybody else? They'll write off
They
on a
were
little
just
piece of
like
paper,
that.
ask you a couple questions, and then they'll send you back to class. Nigga, that ain't no fucking grief. I was just talking
That
to
was
this man, bro. I'm literally under the steps talking to him and the security guard. I used to live 2 blocks away, so I used to leave school and go home. I left. I come back, nigga. By the time we come back to school, we learned this man that got killed. We was just talking to him. Matter of fact, Talaco was a security guard. Remember Talaco? The little Mexican security guard.
Yeah.
Me, him, and
Yeah.
Talaco the one let me leave. You know what I'm saying? I went home. But I came back, my dude gone. And what I'm saying is like the trauma that a lot of these fucking kids deal with inside the house pushes them outside. And then when they go outside, they ain't got no real OGs like they used to. If you was an athlete back in the G and you was cold at something, baseball, football, whatever it is, you try to jump off that porch, nigga knocking you off. Nigga gonna punch you in your fucking chest. Where you going? What you think you doing? That ain't even your world. Go pick up the football, go play basketball, go do the baseball, but stay over there. You know what I'm saying? Like
well.
you
What
had that
about the ones
guidance, but
that goes back to what you were saying though. What are these kids? What are these kids learning at home? You know, because you got you gotta you gotta remember a lot of these kids ain't raised by their parents. A lot of these kids is raised by their
by
auntie
their
or
grannies.
their grandma. You know,
Yep.
the the respect, willingness to deal with the attitude, because you would think that kids that are in situations like that, it wouldn't be an issue. They wouldn't deal with that issue psychologically, but kids do deal with issues psychologically when
Yes.
their
Yes.
parents aren't there consistently or their parents aren't there at all, and they're having to live with the uncle or the aunt or the grandma or the grandpa. Now it's one of those things of, like you said, mental health. What are we doing to get these kids to understand that this is not something that they need to take as a negative, but they need to take it more as a positive, because obviously their mom or dad ain't prepared or wasn't prepared for the parenting aspect of life. So they deemed it smarter for them to allow someone who they felt was more responsible, more reliable, to
Mm-hmm.
take to take on that responsibility. The mental health aspect in those situations, even though it's not a bad situation, it's a fairly decent situation, but there still needs to be something that needs to be addressed, because these kids
Yeah.
do have issues with that.
Yep.
What you
I'll say this. So I'll pose this question to both of y'all. If you see a spider inside of your house, what are you going to do?
I'm killing this motherfucker.
It
You're gonna kill
depends.
it.
Wait.
What'd you say,
It
Jay?
depends.
What?
If that
Oh, a daddy
spider
long
is
legs,
killing
I keep it.
moths and ants, and
Yeah.
if it's killing shit, I stall it out. I let it handle its business, because it's doing
Right.
what I needed to do. Take care of the pet.
Right. See, Jay got moral standing. I don't know about you, bro, Jay.
I'm
I
killing
don't
that
know.
motherfucker. I don't fuck with
You say I'm
spiders, nigga. They
killing
gotta
them.
go. Fuck all that. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. I don't
So
give a fuck
I'll
what
say
is
this.
killing.
I've
They got
heard this
spray for that
before,
shit.
and I I heard this quote before, but I can't remember who said it or where I heard it before. I can't remember who said it. But what was said was that the problem with black people now is we used to see each other as a fresh spring bloom, right? When winter is over with, the cold air is gone, and you see the blooming flowers, you get excited when you see it. It's like, oh my God, I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see you. I know it's gonna be good now. But instead of that, we're seeing each other as spiders. That's how we're seeing each other. We see it all the time. Sometimes with black men walking down the street, you see dudes we walk past each other, mugging. Y'all don't even know. You've never seen this man a day in your life. Y'all never seen each other before. What y'all mugging for? And that I think there's something psychologically wrong, right? You guys were talking about like mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what it is. I think psychologically, I think something is wrong for something like that to even transpire, take place. Me personally, when I see it, I'll be like, man, what's up, bro? How you doing? You know what I mean? Like some people may say something back to me, some don't. Do I feel played at times? I do. Sometimes I want to say, man,
Nigga, fuck
but I'm
you.
like, you know what? Yeah, I do. But I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I do. I
Yeah,
be wanting to be like my whole dialect going, man, oh, bitch ass nigga.
yeah, bro.
Nah.
Yeah, what the
But
fuck
I'm
you
like,
think?
nah, because it didn't it didn't cost me anything just to say hi, say what's up. At least I know I tried, right?
Yeah,
That's it.
facts,
Black
facts,
man,
facts.
or just anybody in general, but speaking of black, right? And I think that's what it is. I think that one of the bigger problems is that that's how we see each other in a sense. And I also think that it's the home thing. And I'll say this, and women might come for me for saying this, but as so your women go, as so does your society. If you really pay attention to women in society throughout of history, right? We can go all the way back to the Renaissance. We can go back to Victorian. We can go back to freaking
Mm-hmm.
walking in sandals in dust in Egypt or whatever, right? The way your women, the trajectory of your women determines the trajectory of your children or sometimes your people. Because women in general, those first few years of that child's life, especially if they're at home, they're learning a lot of different things from mom. Or they're learning so many different things, or even from dad, right? And I think that may be one of those things. Like earlier, y'all were talking about the baddies club and housewives and all this shit and pay attention. After this shit came about, we started to see things progress worse. Not progress, I'm sorry, degress, worse, 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 worse. And it's like the trajectory was falling. And then the rise of social media. Everybody want, I gotta give me some likes and clicks. I gotta figure out how to do this. How
Mm-hmm.
can I, how can I, how can I, how can I? Right?
Monetization.
Shit. And like you said, Jay, negativity. Negativity right now, I will say, has the bullhorn. It does. It really does. And we see more negative than we see positive. How many times you scroll on social media, if you're on social media, do you see any great videos? Someone helping somebody, someone, even if that's your algorithm, even if you're not looking for it, some kind of way it always pop up. I was just telling him earlier, I was
Yeah.
like, bro, why I keep seeing fight videos? I don't watch this kind of stuff.
Nah.
I watch positive, I follow positive people. You know what I mean? Like I don't, but it's like constantly people fighting, women fighting. And
And
I was like,
that's
damn,
only
bro,
in
I see
our
more women
community though.
fighting than men.
Yeah, you right. You
Yeah.
right.
So again, as Jay touched on earlier, the system, right? It's a collective of so many different things. So even at times when we try to pinpoint and we say, okay, well, how do we do this? How do we change this? And we looking at it from one angle, but it's like, damn.
Yeah, we in the
The
Hunger
system got
Games,
all
nigga.
kind of moving
Yeah.
components in it. Damn, we gotta,
It's the Hunger
you know what I
Games,
mean?
nigga.
You up, you left, right, up, down, in, out, around, square, triangle,
Yeah,
rectangle,
for real.
octagons. God damn, like you know what I'm saying? It's all the damn shapes that exist, all the
That's
colors
why
too,
nigga
the
mental
numbers,
health
the
fucked up
alphabets.
right now.
Right. It's so it's so much shit, and it's so many variables that's tied to it that it is going to take some work because it's taken years for them to get us here. We didn't get here by ourselves. Come on, man, let's be
Facts.
real. We didn't get here by ourselves. We didn't. If you go, let's say 1970s, 1980s is when we started to see a change. We started to see the gangster shit started to roll around.
Gangster
We
rap
started to see
coming
this
up,
more in
yeah.
Chicago. Not even gangster rap, just the gangster persona.
Mm-hmm.
We saw this more in Chicago in the 80s. Dudes walking around, they got the fucking, they in the full suit
Yeah.
with the, trench coat on, with the cigarette, with the Kango and shit. And well, we gangsters, they talking about this and that. And then it
Mm-hmm.
started to transition into something else. So at times, even myself, because I always say, I don't want to look outside. I want to look within, right? Figure out what the problem is. I don't want to look outside, or I don't want to point fingers at these people, that people, these over. But sometimes you can't help it. It's like, damn. Okay, then we get into the 80s, and we start to see the music change. We see the crack epidemic start to happen, and we know all that shit is real. We know that it was
The
funded.
CIA dropped that
What it
off.
was for,
Yeah,
drop that off because it was funded. They needed some money for war. Congress wouldn't approve it, so it was the best way that they did it. Cocaine was a because we all know cocaine is not a broke person's drug. You know what I'm saying? That's
that's
that
when that's
that
when
costs
that's
money.
that's when shit really started going left around
Started
that era.
started going left.
It was going left. It was
The
going
violence
left
part of
during
it
the
started to pick
Iran,
up like super.
during
That crack,
Vietnam.
Yeah,
cause
Heron
but that's what
era.
I'm saying. Like, but they
Exactly.
they was
They
giving
was
them heroin in
they was
Vietnam and
doing
they
that.
came
They
back, right?
no, they was doing
Right.
that
Like, just tell me
shit
I'm right or wrong.
way
You know what I'm
before they,
saying? But I
because
thought,
you got to think. So heroin, the way that they were making it was different than, because you had, I can't think of the name of it right now, but you had something that was similar here, but it wasn't as prevalent and as easily accessible. It was it was the liquid shit that people was taking. It was like a liquid. I can't think of the name of that shit right now. But they've been doing
Oh,
all in the during the Great Depression and all that
I
shit.
know what you're talking
They
about.
had
I'm
that
trying to
shit
think
going.
of it too.
yeah, but the
Not
violence
Yeah.
didn't
not
come behind that shit though.
not far
They were
not
just
far
fucking
after
crackheads
not
and
far
shit. But the
after that
violence
shit
in the
started, because
black
you got, like I
community didn't
said,
start to the crack
Vietnam.
epidemic.
No, what I'm saying is
Yeah.
Vietnam
Not
is when
far.
it really popped off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But before then, it was an uptick before Vietnam
Right.
really
Hmm.
popped the shit
With
off.
the heroin.
It was an uptick that was coming. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said,
Yeah.
this is a capitalist nation, and it's whatever
To
on that. It just
slowly
got real. It got blown out of proportion during the crack epidemic.
Mm.
They kind of tried to keep that shit tight and closed during the heroin
okay.
situation. And once the crack epidemic popped off, then it was, like I said, then they started spinning a bunch of different shit.
So Crips and Bloods it was created. I can't even think straight,
Community.
but it was created for a different purpose, right? It was something for it was a community. It was a purpose for the community, right?
Yeah.
Right? It was community. That's what it
Protection.
was, right?
Yeah.
Red and blue represented something, kind of like the police lights,
Yeah.
or the siren lights, and all that shit, right? However, something happened. Again, we talk about CIA, we talk about all these underground, you know,
I like
different
that.
the cabal, we'll call it, right? Like some
Mm-hmm.
people say the cabal. And you gotta break up this unity, right? And again, people infiltrate different things. Just like people infiltrated the Muslims during Malcolm's run, just like people infiltrated the church during Malcolm's run, just
Mm-hmm.
like people infiltrated the Black Panther Party, you know what I mean? And with Fred Hampton and all them cats, people infiltrated all these different things. Again, this is why the old saying go. Black people been saying this forever. How long? All skin folk ain't kinfolk. And there's a reason why they were saying that back then, right? And then when you have that changes, and then gangster rap came around. You had NWA, and then became more prominent. And then you had movies like Menace to Society start to come out. Then you had what's the one, Colors come out, and all this different stuff, right? And
Boys in
then
the
you
hood,
have
all that.
Boys in the Hood, all that. It made it popular, and then boom, here we go. The crime bill came in. We got them, right? But here's the kicker. What do you do with some violent people? Do you just lock them up? Because if you lock up all the violent criminals, how can you still perpetuate the same things on the streets? No, you leave some of them out there, right? You leave some out of there. Because let's be real for a second. You think that if LAPD, or NOPD, or HPD, or any other PD that exists in the United States didn't want to create a task force to really go after these guys and take them down, you don't think that they could do that
I'm sure they can. They
and
they
lock
do
them
it.
up,
That's what Rico for. That's why they moving with these Ricos now. Like
right?
you getting niggas
So,
caught up on Ricos right now.
man, I keep going, man. I'm so happy you said that earlier because I keep going back to it, bro. The system, it's so much, man. This conversation could go on for
Yeah, for
26
hours.
years
Yeah,
because
bro.
it's so many different things that exists. And again, with so many different problems, you're gonna have to create so many different solutions,
Yeah, I
right?
agree with you
Because
there.
one person over here, you may be, or we may be able to captivate them by talking to them about something that they're interested in. Okay, that person, we got them. This one over here, they don't care about none of that shit. How
Mm-hmm.
do we get them?
Mm-hmm.
Right? We might be able to
Got
get
that
them on
duck.
some scared
That's the
straight
duck
shit.
we
They
need
don't
right
have,
there. That's the
they don't
nigga we need.
they
Yeah.
don't have scare. Remember, we used to have scare straight and all that shit
Yeah, they
back
ain't
in the
got
day.
that
We used
shit
to
no
have
more.
boot camp programs and all. We don't have any of that stuff anymore. We have recreational parks. Hell, we had community swimming pools, all kinds of different things. And I think that's a big issue too, and a big problem. we don't invest back in the community enough, right? And some people think that, oh man, I got to get millions of dollars and hundreds of thousands. No, that's not true because guess what? Even those in the hood, if everybody gave $5 a month, all
you
that
can build
adds
some
up into
stuff. Yep.
something. You can build some
You
shit
can
from
build
that,
some shit. I can
right?
definitely
But
build some
again,
shit.
I'll say this. I believe that it's in order for us to see change, we have to first recognize what the problems are. And after we recognize the many problems, I think that we should tackle the ones that are the easiest first, right? After we tackle, and again, with those tackling those problems, we're going to have to come up with many solutions. We're not going to be able to use the same thing for everybody. War, strategy with war. If I'm going to war with Iraq, I know I can't do the same thing when I get to Iran. There's no way, bro. That mountain terrain alone? No way. I can't do the same. So, even for war, there's different strategies that exist for a reason. And that's another thing I think. I think we need some really good strategists to come up with some plans.
Again, man, I appreciate y'all, bro. And until episode number 4, bro. I appreciate y'all, man. It's been another episode of Black Men Unplugged, man. We tapped in. We bring y'all ass, man. Like, subscribe, and rock with us, man. Until next time.
Yeah, Black Men Unplugged. Go make them believe everything you said you gon' do, you gotta achieve. Fish a crown king, keep it real, then find you a queen. Feeling unplugged, but I'm here to plug in your dreams. All the things you see, I guarantee, it's not what it seems. Gotta be conscious when reality break from the screen. Gotta find peace inside your mind with heavenly things. Got us unplugged, but forgot we plugged in the streets. Kept us disconnected, but forgot we plugged in with kings. Know you struggling, it's a lot, you gotta succeed. Got us unplugged, but forgot we plugged in with kings. Unplugged. I know you struggling, it's a lot. You gotta succeed. Got us unplugged, but forgot we plugged in with streets. Huh? Unplugged. Kept us disconnected, but forgot we plugged in the streets. Unplugged.